Welcome everyone to the Monday night call. We're really glad you came to join us. My name is Donna Stein, co-host of this call, do a little administration work, and we want to welcome Audie Champion, your host.
Thank you, Donna. And also I'd like to wish everyone, or thank everyone for coming to our Monday night KOGI Association call. For those that weren't able to attend last week, I'd like to let you know that going forward, we will only have one call a week, and that call will be on a Monday. So each and every Monday, we have a call. Now, we received the email, you'll notice that I didn't, hold on, let me mute everyone out. Yeah, I didn't send out the recording from last week, but when I send out the recording tonight, from tonight's call, I'll send out last week's recording as well. So with that, I'd like to bring on our speaker, Dennis Gray. Are you here, Dennis?
I got muted again.
All right. Welcome, Dennis.
I'm here. I unmuted and was waiting for you, and then I got muted. So anyway, I'm here. And
recording in progress.
Last week we had a pretty good call, and over the weekend, I had a lot of questions answered by people who asked Mitch a lot of questions. Unfortunately, we didn't record that. I wish I had, but we didn't. Okay, we didn't think it was going to get into such a extensive question and answer thing. We just had a couple of people that had a few questions and ended up with almost 2 hours of back and forth talk with each other about what was going on. And a couple of people are on here, I think. Let me see, is who else? Who was on with me? Oh, who was it? I'm trying to think of who was on the calls with me. I know that Marilyn Evans was on. Marilyn, are you on? Or the other person who was on was Marilyn's partner. Anyway, they had a lot of questions, okay? And they got all answered. Now, let me start out with doing an overview on what KOGI is. KOGI is not just a bank. It's a global financial system. By that, it ends up being a bank, an exchange system, into a trust company, a title company, an insurance company, a settlement company, and everything that you see on the internet rolled into one, into a proprietary blockchain satellite encrypted bubble that protects you and allows you to be in control of your own finances. KOGI is run by a master computer program called Cannibal. Cannibal is a contraction of Cain and Abel. In Cain and Abel, we have 12 robots. And I don't want to call them artificial intelligent, although we just say they are AI bots. They're actually living intelligent bots, okay? They know what's going on right to the very minute, and they operate on the fastest servers available. Because there are 5 fast computer systems, 3 of them are in operation. One is with the government military, one is with a banking system in Europe, and the third one is with KOGI. Just the last week, because of the major chip shortage, we're having trouble finding the necessary servers that we need to put everybody on. But last week, Mitch was able to get the necessary servers so that we can get his Virgin Financial System, or VFS for short. The Virgin Financial System is taking all the US Virgin Islands and putting them into a financial system that'll be the head of the entire program. Then KOGI comes in underneath there, and then currently we have about 17 white label apps that will be launched shortly after VFS is launched. And last week, Mitch told us that before Thanksgiving, we will have something to give thanks about. He's planning on having it all launched and ready so that we can bring the other people, every one of you who are not buying a white label but just want to have an account with us opened up. So we should be able to do that. Now, KOGI is running this entire system, and that's what the white label is for everybody. But each person who has a white label, for instance, Phytech, Cheryl, Adelita, and Chris got together and formed Phytech. They have some specific needs, and their app will address those specific needs. So does everybody else that we have on here. They have specific needs, and their app will be addressing those specific needs for them. Our program employs a virtual wallet. That means you can put any kind of currency into it, okay? So you'll be able to bring your cryptos, your whatever currency you have can be put into the virtual wallet, and it will help you to then move the currency all over the world, because our banking app, part of KOGI, is worldwide registered to be able to work in any country. Okay, so everything that we have is able to work in any country. So this is what's beautiful. Now, when you as the individual want to open an account with us, it's as simple as opening up a Venmo, a Cash App, or a PayPal. Just go open it up. It doesn't cost you any money. But now, to work with it, you need to attach your bank accounts, your wallets, wherever you have funds, you can attach it to your KOGI account. Here's the beauty of that account. Your entire KYC, or know your client, is with us. We know everything about you, including your social security number, but it does not get used inside of KOGI. We have a different number for you, and you become basically an anonymous sovereign person, okay? I don't like to use the word sovereign citizen, because that is not a good word for the government. They call them terrorists, okay? So you have a sovereign anonymous position with us. Here's why. When you open your account, all your banks will automatically KOGI will become the custodian of your bank accounts and your wallets for and on your behalf. That means that the banks can't tell you what to do with your money. We now control it for you and put it under our trust system from Switzerland. It's called Euro Capital Trust, which is a pretty strong trust that we have. It took Mitch almost 4 years to get it completely done, okay? And Donna, you're right. Innovative projects take a little longer than we expect, and you can always see that in all the things that are being done. They usually go past the deadline date, okay? But anyway, I can't wait for this to get going, because here's what happens. When you open your account, like I said, your bank accounts will be linked to us, and the bank accounts will now be double FDIC insured to $500,000. The banks can't tell you what to do with your money, and you can do anything and everything you want. Not only can you put your money in, but you can put your house, your boat, your car, your jewelry, all of those things will end up under KOGI's assets under management. That's called AUM, assets under management. And KOGI will be your trustee. You will be the beneficiary. You have full control of everything. KOGI, although KOGI is the trustee, KOGI gives you the right to do anything and everything you want to. You can buy, you can sell, you can rent, you can do whatever you want to with your property that's in under management with KOGI. Now, another beautiful thing is this. Let's just say you have plenty of money in your account and you want to buy something. You could be standing in front of the jeweler in a jewelry store wanting to buy a $100,000 diamond necklace. And guess what? You make the purchase. You're standing in front of the jeweler. You make the purchase. But you know what happens? It does not show up under your name. It's under the white label that you're operating under. If it's FITech, FITech will be the one making the purchase. If it's KOGI, it'll be KOGI that's making the purchase, not you. So nobody ever knows what you have bought or sold or what you have. Although a ledger is started from day one, a ledger starts out with what you put in, what's coming out, how much you have made. All of that is accounted for to 12 decimal places, okay? So what happens at the end is, let's just say you started out with $100,000 and you have the bots trading for you and you made $50,000 over the year and you want to take it out or you want to go buy a Lamborghini or something like that. Well, a Lamborghini is going to be a lot more than 50,000. But let's just say you want to buy a nice car for $50,000. Well, guess what? It all depends on how you're buying it and what you're doing it, or what you're buying it for. If you happen to be buying it for a business, then you got tax ramifications on that, right? When all of this is taken into account, line by line by line, your ledger is taken into account, and the tax that you will pay, because it's coming out of the Virgin Islands, is 2.7%. Okay, that's what happens on just regular, in all of us on here, putting our money in, making money, and the tax we will pay, federal income tax that we will pay is 2.7%. Okay, now, if you have a business and you register your business in the Virgin Islands, then your tax will go down to 1.7%. Okay, so these are beautiful things for you to know, because you don't want to throw your money away. You want to take your money and make as much money for you as possible. And that's what KOGI is supposed to do, to allow you to use your own funds, no matter what it is, because the equity in your home, your jewelry, your car, your boat, your plane, whatever you have, the equity can be used without getting a loan. Right now, let's just say you have a $500,000 home, you got $200,000 in equity, and you want to do something with that equity. Guess what? You got to go to the bank, you got to get on your knees and say, please, sir, can I have a loan off my own money? What is equity? Equity is the money that you have accumulated on a positive side of whatever you're paying for, whether it's a house or a car or jewelry or whatever. That's your money. Now you go to the bank, you beg them for a loan, and they will give you a loan if you don't need it. You know, if you got all the money in the world, then they'll be happy to give you a loan. But if you're having trouble, they don't want to give you a loan. So here's the thing. You're borrowing your own money, paying interest, and then you go invest that money into some other place, hoping to make more money. Now, I don't know whether you guys, all of you know about the latest, biggest major problem that has happened. It's a company called FTX. It's a Ponzi scheme company that started out 13 days after Biden announced himself to be the to run for president. This company started 13 days after that, and guess what they would do? Okay, the money that is being sent over to Ukraine invested in this company. This company then sent it back out to various foundations in the United States and paid for all the Democrats. Now, 3 days ago, they filed for bankruptcy, and there's over $2 billion. I've heard as much as $4 billion worth of assets that people have lost. Okay, so go in and Google FTX and read all about this guy, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, read about him, and guess what? He tried to escape. He went to the Bahamas, and he's been arrested there, and he has put up his house for sale, $39.5 million. That's his house over there. When the last video I saw of him, he was showing, oh, I drive this little Corolla, Toyota Corolla. Oh, I don't need a Lamborghini. But then he puts up his house for sale, and it's $39.5 million in the Bahamas. Okay, so we don't want to be caught up in stuff like that. We won't allow things like that to happen. Okay, and Tony G says the same thing. He has a lot of charities which he controls. His mother and father are attorneys, and they teach in one of the high schools and so on and so forth. Anyway, there's a lot of things. Go in and read for yourself. Just Google FTX and you will find out what's going on. And this is one of the biggest scams that's ever happened. The money went from here. Our $70 billion went to Ukraine. Ukraine put it back into FTX. FTX then paid for all the Democrats who were running. Over $50 million was put into just a few of them, all right? So I don't know exactly what all the totals are, but it's mind-boggling, but they're now broke. And all the people who put the $2 billion in, they're SOL. And you know what that SOL stands for, okay? So anyway, what KOGI is going to do is we are going back to the old days of, remember, savings and loans? Savings and loans was when everybody put their money in and saved their money, and then that bank would loan out the people's money, make money for everybody, sort of akin to the credit unions. You own a piece of the action, and the credit unions are so much stronger than a bank. Okay, so when you go to the banks and get loans, whose money are they loaning you? You need to ask them that, okay? Anyway, the beauty of KOGI is you are 100% protected with your money, and when you take your money, your earnings out, you don't even need to have a tax man, okay? Accountant or a CPA to do your paperwork, because your tax will be automatically deducted based on your ledger. Your ledger says whether the money was income, whether it was paid for your employees, for your buildings, for your gas and electric, etc. And whatever the profit is, that's what you have, and it's already accounted for down to the 12th decimal point. And nobody will be able to audit it, because the taxes will already be taken out, and there's no auditing to be done. You won't have to worry about it, okay? So that's the way we are. And as far as I know, friends, Mitch has promised us that before Thanksgiving, we will be up and running with BFS, and as a result, KOGI will be up and running, and everybody will be able to open up their own accounts there because he got the final servers that he needed to bring in the other white label apps. So as far as KOGI goes, I think that should bring us to a point where I can now ask people, you got any questions? I'll take the questions. So raise your hands, and Donna will.
We got Roz first, and then Stephanie.
Roz, go ahead, Roz. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening. Just a little clarification. If I recall, there was a white label referral fee,
Yes, there is.
which means that, so how does that handle the referral fee will be deposited into the person's account?
If you have an account, if you don't have an account, we can, with us, you should have an account somewhere. Whatever your account is, you can tell us where you want the money to go to.
Okay, thank you.
Stephanie, please unmute.
Let me clarify something. The referral fee is paid when the final payment is made and the people have their white label deployed. Okay?
Understood.
Okay.
Stephanie.
Next, Stephanie.
Oh, yes. Hi. Hello, Dennis and everyone. Good evening. I wanted to find out again, the white label, how much is it and how long will it be at the price that it is? And what's the best way to go and get a white label? Because that's really a great opportunity. Like I'm seeing the possibilities as you speak about it, weekly.
Let me expand on that possibility that you're just talking about. Okay, I have a young lady in Hawaii right now. About 3 years ago, about 7 or 8 years ago, she got associations from me. Well, she started doing home health care in Hawaii with other people. Then she decided, you know what, let me go over there and help them staff their home health care. So she went over there, she got my help, and one of my friends who had the ability to do all the legal works for her, she learned a lot on her own with some of the paperwork that was sent from my legal friends. Okay, within a year, she was able to purchase a $1.6 million home over there. That's way over $2 million right now. Maria and I went and spent a whole week with her about a month and a half ago, and it was absolutely incredible. This lady is making about 120 to 150,000 every month. She has $1 million sitting in the bank. Now I asked her, how many employees do you have? Now, you guys need to think of what I'm talking about. Any business, okay? If you have a business, listen to what I'm saying. This is her business. So I asked her, I said, you have a business. How many employees do you have? She said, I have approximately about 103 employees that go to all these different homes and look after the people. She's got about 50 to 60 clients. They fluctuate, some new ones coming in or ones leaving, etc. I said, then how many people do you buy products from, like wheelchairs, whatever they need, that depends. All of these things have to be purchased every day. So I asked her, I said, so where's your money? Well, it's sitting in the bank. $1 million sitting in the bank. The bank's asking her, what are you going to do with it? Now, figure out if you had your own app, that $1 million would be sitting in her bank, not in somebody else's bank. Now, she will get to all her employees, 103 something, I don't know, that fluctuates, but she said about 103. Okay. When she pays them now, where does that money go? To those people's banks. But if she had her own white label app. Those people will all join her banking system, and the money would remain in her bank, but it'll go into their sub accounts under the main account. Okay, these are sub accounts, all these people. Likewise, for all the people she's buying products from, all her vendors, their accounts will be again with her. And then when the people pay her, it'll go into her bank account. And guess what? Right now, she's using QuickBooks to do all her accounting. Plus, she has other people helping, get all the checks out to the people, etc. She wouldn't have to worry about anything. All she would have to do is our program will program that a new client comes on, they get a bank account, a sub account under her, and all she has to do is push a button that when the time to pay, all of the people get paid and the money goes from her account to the sub accounts and they're all still in her bank. Now you got to think of, okay, these people want to go make purchases. So every time they use their debit card or their QR code on their cell phone, if they can get the merchants that they're dealing with to also come in, then the money will remain with her. But every time they use it, there's a fee charge. Now, the fee you charge with a white label is up to you, okay? KOGI will only charge you like 1%. So if you want to charge 2% on the fees or 3%, like I was talking to a gentleman, he's currently paying 3.6% for using a debit card. A railway to get his money. He's using, cards, paying 3.6%. And we told him, hey, how would you like 2%? These are the things that the people. So then she said, wow, you mean I'd have my own bank? All of these people will be in my own bank. All their money will remain with me. And all the things that they do, they will be able to make money with in my bank. And every time they use this, even if I charge them 2% instead of 3 or 4%, I get 62% of those fees as well. Absolutely. So now she's ready to jump on the plane and go to St. Martin with us and get her white label. Plus, she's already got 3 people who want to buy white labels under her. Okay. Why? Well, she trusts me because she's got about 8 or 10 associations from me, and she needs 2 more right now. She just called me and said she needs 2 more. Okay. So the beauty of the white label, I just explained it to you, Stephanie. So the current price is $250,000. Okay. Now that's if you was to pay 50% down, 125,000, and as soon as we're ready, usually about 3 to 4 weeks right now, we'll be ready with your white label, ready to launch it. You pay the other, and you're ready to go. You can make it in 3 payments if you wanted to, which means 90,000 down and 80,000 on the second payment. We don't start your program until we have at least 125,000. But if you do the 3 payment program, 90,000 down, then there's an additional approximately $9,000 added because we have extra fees that we need to pay to get you up and running. Okay?
Thank you kindly. Very well done. Thank you so much.
Okay. David, you're next.
Hi, Dennis. I wanted to clarify my question from the last call. So with the P&A campaign, if I invested in the P&A campaign doesn't launch because you don't reach the threshold that you need to raise funds for. Does 100% of the funds that I invested get returned back to me, or what happens to those funds?
100% if we don't do it. But I can tell you this, we got more people sitting around ready to put in millions into the P&A. I've got people right now, one person has 6 billion in available. Another person has 7.2 trillion available. Okay, so whatever it is that we need for P&A, we will get in a flash.
And it's 500,000 is the maximum at the moment.
No,
We
there's
can
no.
invest. All right, so I thought you said in the last call 500K was the maximum to start for P&A.
No, that's what he was. That's what Mitch said. That he would like to have 500,000 to get the first P&A going.
Oh,
But
total. Okay, I thought it was for investment. I see.
5,000 is the minimum,
Right.
and we'll return you 120% every 3 months. Now, it's not going to be ongoing forever. Okay, it's a promotions and advertising campaign. Okay, so whenever the advertising is met its goals, then we stop it. But we may start another one, and we will open it up and tell people, hey, we're opening up another one. Your time to get in.
Great. Thank you very much for clarifying.
Okay, David. Rick, you're next.
Please unmute, Rick. Rick, unmute, or we'll go to Tommy.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you for being patient. Dennis, I am getting my investment back. It's a substantial amount of money, and I don't want to pay I want to pay tax, but I don't want to pay the short-term capital gains tax. And I wanted to move it to the KOGI account, but I got to find out whether or not I'd be able to pay the 2.7% tax, because I didn't earn it in KOGI, but it's going to be placed there, and I was going to move it into the association.
Remember this, all the money that goes in tax deferred anyway. Because it's going in for investment purposes. It goes in what they call a smart contract, blockchain smart contract for investment purposes. As a result, it goes in tax deferred.
I see. I'm
Okay.
just trying to minimize my tax, because the other question I had is, if I have money in the association and I have a KOGI account for the association, any profits that I make with KOGI Bank would be very little as far as tax wise. But once I take the money out of the KOGI account and use it for living expenses, doesn't it become a taxable event?
Yeah, when you take it out, and if it's a gain that you had, okay. So if you put $100,000 in, it goes in tax deferred, right? Now you use it to make some money, and you got $20,000, and you want to pull that 20,000. Then on the 20,000, you'd pay 2.7%.
I see. We'll be connecting soon to create the associations.
Yeah, and well, as soon as we get I just did a presentation for 138 people, and I got about 30 associations to do here coming up this week. In fact, the call is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. 10:30, I have a call with the people wanting to do about 25 to 30 associations to get started with. This is another company that's doing a worldwide crypto NFT program.
Okay. I'll connect with you privately, because I don't want to go over my question limit.
Yeah, you got my number. You can call me. Okay.
Thank you, Dennis.
You got it.
Okay, Tommy.
Tommy Henry is next, right, Donna?
Yes, he's not muted. Tommy
He's not-
Henry.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
we can.
Dennis, my sister has an association of yours, and she wants to know if she has her money in KOGI and KOGI starts making money for her and through the association, and she gets ready to take it out, is it going to be taxed at the 2.7 or taxed at a 0 for the association?
It'll be taxed at 0 because it's going into a nonprofit association. It's not going to an individual.
To association, not an individual. Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
No other questions?
Yeah, if people have questions and they put it in the chat, it would be much better if you raise your hand and are called on.
Okay, looks like nobody else has got any questions. So let's shut. Hey, Chris. What did you say? You just said Chris. You got your name in there.
Yeah.
Chris, you got a question?
I couldn't type it fast enough. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Chris. How are you?
Okay. Good to hear everybody. My question is, Dennis, on that 500,000 for the P&A, when does that? I know the cutoff is like 500,000, but how are we able to get our money in there? Is it like the people with the white labels apps that are already purchased? I mean, first come, first serve. How does that kind of work? Because 500,000 would cap off pretty quickly, don't you think?
Excuse me, the
Well,
person
yeah,
who's,
it could. Yeah. 500,000. Hey, there's people ready to put in, I've got one guy who's got $22 million in property. I got one guy who's got the entire land that the Port of Long Beach is on. He wants to put it in. Okay, so there's a lot of different people with a lot of money that wants to put it in, but we want to give everybody a shot at it. So we want to start out small and say, hey, 5,000, 10,000, people.
Right. No, I appreciate that. I guess my question is, if you've already purchased a white label app, right? Like Cheryl and I have one, Adelita, we have one. Does it kind of a first come, first serve, or those that already have purchased the apps?
Oh yeah, well,
first?
we'll be letting you guys know first that, hey, we're getting ready to do this. Because you're part of the banking system, so we need to let you know. Sort of like insider trading, right?
Right. Well, that was my question. Yeah.
It's not insider trading. We're just letting the people who have purchased the banks know that this is what we're going to do.
And at that point, we'll have like kind of first dibs, I guess, to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Eve, would you like to ask your question now?
Who is it?
There's somebody named Eve that had a question.
Eve?
Okay.
I didn't see the hand.
All right,
Michael's iPhone.
Please.
Yeah, how you doing, Dennis?
Pretty good, Michael.
Yeah, I got a question. According to the P&A, does the when we get our apps through KOGI.cash, that's when I can go ahead and apply for the P&A on the day that I get. Okay.
Right after you get your account opened up, which is just like opening up a PayPal or Venmo or cash. After you do that, then we will tell you, hey, listen, folks, we're opening up for a P&A, and our goal is 500,000, or our goal is $1 million or whatever, and people can come in, and the minimum is $5,000.
And also you'll let us know when you reach the max money.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We would let everybody know.
All right, thank you.
Closing out this P&A, wait for the next P&A that we're going to do.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so that's the last call, right, Donna? Last question?
That's the last question anybody's raised their hand for.
Okay, what I'm going to do is now go into the associations. I haven't done that for a while, so let me go into the associations for everybody.